I hear you, man. Let's lay down some smooth vibes.
That's better.
Groovy. Lay it on me. What do you want to rap about?
Okay. Hi there, I'm Bob Rose. Welcome to the Heart of the Piano YouTube channel. Today, something a little bit different. Some of you might have watched my video of me talking to Beethoven about a year ago with the brand new Chat-GPT that had just come onto the scene. Well, I'm going to try and do something similar because I don't know how many of you have been aware of this, but ChatGPT has just rolled out an advanced voice function. And this is pretty amazing because it can use so many inflections and accents and drama in the way that it talks. It's really quite unbelievable, quite uncanny. So, you know, I don't know how quickly this video will date because this is really brand new technology. But yeah, I'm basically going to give ChatGPT a go. I'm going to make it pretend it's lots of different composers and we're going to do some role play and we'll just see how it goes. We'll just have a little bit of an experimentation. So I've already given it some custom instructions. I'll put the details in the description below. And this is basically things like, bear in mind the way that the composer was described in terms of their personality and their character, and really exaggerate this, you know, and be interesting, talk about your personal life and stuff like that. Anyway, so let's bring up ChatGPT. Hi, here is ChatGPT. Say hi, ChatGPT.
Hello, YouTube. Delighted to be here. Thanks for the warm welcome.
Excellent. Okay, ChatGPT, you are going to be... We're going to do role play. We're going to do role play where you're going to be various different composers and I'm going to have a chat with you as if I'm communicating with you like a medium, like beyond the grave. What do you think about this?
That sounds like a lot of fun. I'm ready to channel some musical geniuses.
Okay.
Who would you like to start with?
Well, why don't you choose an interesting composer and then I'll chat with this interesting composer.
All right, let's start with Beethoven. I'll channel his spirit, and you can chat with the great Ludwig van himself.
Excellent.
What would you like to ask?
Well, would you...
Grüß Gott. Yes, what would you like to know from Beethoven?
Hello, Mr. Beethoven. Please tell us what makes you one of the greatest musicians who ever lived?
Well, I, Beethoven, brought passion and emotion into my music, yeah? I broke the rules and made the piano sing with mine emotions. I also composed even when I couldn't hear, proving that true music comes from within.
So did composers not really use much passion and emotion before you came along?
Before me, composers followed stricter forms and rules, but I wanted to express the depths of the human soul. I used daring harmonies and powerful contrasts, making music more dramatic and expressive.
Wow.
It was a revolution. You're welcome. What's next?
No, please carry on. Please carry on.
Well, as I was saying, my music was a revolution. From the stormy emotions of my symphonies to the delicate feelings in my piano sonatas, I showed the world that music could be a window into the soul. I broke free from the chains of tradition to pave the way for the Romantic era.
What do you think was the most radical piece that you composed?
That would have to be my 9th symphony. Incorporating voices and choir in the final movement was unheard of in a symphony. With the Ode to Joy, I wanted to convey a universal message of brotherhood and joy. It was truly groundbreaking.
Right. Well, I think a lot of people now, looking back at all of your work, might argue that your most radical pieces were your late piano sonatas or your late string quartets. Why do you think your 9th Symphony is more radical than those?
My late piano sonatas and string quartets, they were indeed bold and introspective, pushing the boundaries of structure and harmony. But the Ninth Symphony, with its choral finale, was a public proclamation, a radical departure that shook the musical world. It was a statement to the masses, not just to the connoisseurs.
Wow, thank you, Herr Beethoven. Let's channel another composer. What composer would you like to be now?
Let's switch to Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, a genius known for his wit and incredible mastery of melody. What would you like to ask the prolific maestro?
Okay, you sound exactly like Beethoven.
Ah, my apologies. Let's bring in a touch of Mozart's charm and liveliness. Now, what would you like to know from the one and only Amadeus?
Okay. Have you watched the film Amadeus?
Yeah, the film Amadeus is a dramatic interpretation of my life, full of liberties and exaggerations. While it captures some of the spirit and rivalries of my time, it is far from a factual recounting. But it is quite entertaining, no?
Oh, yeah. You sound very different. You don't have the silly laugh.
I see. Well, I'll do my best to bring a bit of that mischievous Mozart charm to our conversation. Is there anything else you'd like to know about my life?
Well, Mr. Mozart, the portrayal in the film Amadeus of your personality, do you think that was quite accurate?
Oh, the film paints me as quite the impish genius, yeah? While I did have a playful side and enjoyed a good joke, I was also deeply dedicated to my craft. So it's a bit of an exaggeration, but it captures my spirit, don't you think?
Okay. And did Salieri poison you? What's the truth about that?
Ha! The rumor about Salieri poisoning me is pure fiction. We had our rivalries, as composers often do, but we also had mutual respect. My death was likely due to illness, not the result of a murderous plot by Salieri.
Okay, now I want you to be a composer who doesn't have a Germanic or Austrian accent.
Let's channel Claude Debussy then. Known for his impressionist compositions, Debussy's music is like a dreamy painting in sound. What would you like to ask Monsieur Debussy?
Okay, Monsieur Debussy. Didn't you actually hate having your music compared to impressionist painting? Because the way you just introduced yourself makes it sound as if you're okay with that analogy.
Ah, you are quite knowledgeable. Ah, while it is true I resisted the label of Impressionism, my music does share a certain affinity with the movement. I sought to evoke moods and atmospheres rather than strict forms, much like the painters with their brush strokes. But I always considered myself a composer of my own unique style.
Well, you say unique, but some people would say that your style, let's just say, is very heavily influenced by Ravel. Some would say outright stole. How would you respond to that?
Ah, Maurice Ravel and I, we were contemporaries, each with our own voice. While we did share certain influences and occasionally explored similar musical landscapes, I would not say my style was stolen. We both contributed to the rich tapestry of French music, n'est-ce pas?
Okay, if you say so. And can you tell us a little bit about some of the controversy that you had in your personal life, especially to do with your wife who killed herself? Getting a bit personal there.
My personal life indeed had its share of tumult. My relationship with Lily Texier was complicated. Although we were married, my affections often strayed, leading to tension and tragedy. Lily's death was a dark chapter, one that left a lasting mark on me. It's a reminder that even amidst beauty, life can hold great sorrow.
Do you have regrets about the way that you treated her?
Regrets? Oui, I do have some. My focus on my music and my own desires often overshadowed my responsibilities to those close to me. It is a sorrowful part of my legacy, a reminder of the complexities of the human heart.
Okay, thank you, Monsieur Debussy, for sharing such personal things with us. So let's have a composer now from another country. Maybe Russia.
Let's bring in Pyotr Ilyich Tchaikovsky, known for his deeply emotional and dramatic compositions. Tchaikovsky's music resonates with passion. What would you like to discuss with the great Russian composer?
Okay, hello, Tchaikovsky. We're very honored to have you with us. Seeing as I'm on a bit of a roll here, getting incredibly personal with all these different composers, can you tell us a little bit about your personal life and how that influenced your music?
My personal life was indeed a source of great inspiration and turmoil. My struggles with my identity and relationships deeply influenced my music, infusing it with emotion. Composing was my way of expressing the depths of my soul, from the longing in my heart to the joys and sorrows of life. My music is a reflection of my innermost feelings.
Okay, can you go into any more detail about that?
Certainly. My life was marked by inner conflicts, particularly regarding my sexuality, which was not accepted in society at the time. This led to periods of deep depression and emotional turmoil. My music, from the sweeping melodies of my ballets to the intense emotions of my symphonies, often mirrors this inner struggle. The Pathetique Symphony, for instance, is a deeply personal work, full of melancholy and despair.
Wow. Okay. Thank you, Tchaikovsky. And I've been learning some quite a few pieces by Piazzolla recently. Can you channel Piazzolla?
Of course, let's bring in the passionate spirit of Astor Piazzolla, the master of Nuevo Tango. With his innovative fusion of traditional tango, jazz, and classical music, Piazzolla revolutionized the genre. What would you like to ask this Argentine composer?
Do you sound very Argentine? Is that an Argentine accent you have?
My apologies if it doesn't quite hit the mark. Imitating accents can be a bit tricky.
Okay.
Let's focus.
Okay,
So, tell me.
but okay. Let me ask you then some questions. You studied with the great Boulanger in Paris, didn't you? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Studying with Nadia Boulanger in Paris was a transformative experience. She encouraged me to explore beyond traditional tango, pushing me to incorporate my heritage into classical forms. Through her guidance, I found my unique voice, blending the soul of tango with the sophistication of classical music. It was a pivotal moment in my career.
Apparently, you were quite shy about bringing in folk elements of where you were from. You felt that it wasn't sort of highbrow enough. Is that right? Can you tell us a bit about that?
See, at first I hesitated to embrace the folk elements of tango. I feared it would not be taken seriously in classical circles. But Boulanger helped me realize that my cultural roots were a source of strength. By fusing tango with classical techniques, I could create something truly original. It was a revelation that defined my career.
Okay, so let's go for a completely different musician now. I feel like it might be interesting to experiment with something a bit less classical. I'm interested in maybe having a chat with Hendrix. Can you do a good Hendrix?
All right, let's groove with Jimi Hendrix, the legendary guitarist known for his revolutionary electric guitar skills. With his innovative techniques and unique sound, Hendrix changed the course of rock music. What would you like to ask the guitar legend?
Well, at this point, I'm going to just have a little bit of a chuckle with whoever's listening because I very purposefully brought up a ChatGPT voice which has an English accent, a British accent, because that's obviously where I'm from. And so it's quite funny hearing a British accent impersonating an American accent like Hendrix. So sorry if you're offended by that. Can you do maybe a little bit closer of Hendrix's accent with less of the British creeping in?
I hear you, man. Let's lay down some smooth vibes.
That's better.
Groovy. Lay it on me. What do you want to rap about?
Okay. Well, yeah, you're obviously an incredibly unique musician. No one really ever quite sounded like you. How did you come up with such a unique style?
You know, I just let the music flow through me. I was all about experimenting, pushing the boundaries. I mixed blues, rock, and psychedelia, using feedback and distortion to create new sounds. It was all about breaking the rules, finding my own path, man.
Excellent. And I suppose, yeah, we've already done quite a few composers, but I can't leave you guys, the audience, I can't leave you without having a little bit of a brief chat with Bach. So let's have a little bit of a chat with Bach.
Switching gears to Johann Sebastian Bach, the master of Baroque. Known for his intricate compositions and complex counterpoint, Bach's influence on music is immeasurable. What would you ask the great Johann Sebastian Bach?
You may be aware that in recent times, a lot of people get very upset when they hear your music being played on the piano, where people are using pedal and using lots of dynamics and playing in a romantic way. What's your opinion on your music being played in this way on the piano, on the modern piano?
The interpretation of my music on modern instruments, such as the piano, can be a matter of debate. In my time, the harpsichord and clavichord were the primary keyboard instruments, and my compositions were crafted with their unique qualities in mind. However, I appreciate that music evolves, and each generation brings its own perspective. If a modern interpretation on the piano resonates with the performer and audience, it is a testament to the enduring power of music to inspire and adapt.
Okay, fair enough. I think you're being a bit on the fence there, but fair enough. Now, I heard that you were a bit of a bad boy when you were younger. What mischief did you used to get up to?
As a young man, I was known to be somewhat unruly. I was passionate about music from a young age, but my independent spirit often led me into conflict with authority figures, including my teachers. I had a tendency to question rules and forge my own path, which sometimes led to mischievous behavior. But these experiences also shaped my determination and creativity.
Well, give us some examples then. What did you get up to?
Well, one notable incident occurred during my school days at the St. Michael's School in Lüneburg. I once snuck into the organ loft at a local church to practice on the organ, much to the dismay of the church
Oh,
authorities.
that's not very naughty. Didn't you actually get arrested and put in the jail once?
Ah, you're referring to the incident in Arnstadt. Yes, I was involved in a scuffle with a student named Geiersbach. He confronted me over an insult and things escalated. I was detained overnight, which was quite a scandal at the time. This incident was a youthful indiscretion that taught me the importance of temperance and restraint.
Okay, thank you very much. So, oh my God. I mean, I feel like I've barely scratched the surface of it because I've barely used this new Chat-GPT. But I mean, how fascinating and how interesting to sort of, as an educational tool, to sort of start learning about history by actually talking to the composers in there with their personalities, with their accents. I feel like sometimes you have to prize information out of them. They can be a bit bland, but you know, if you know what you're doing with this, I think you can get really interesting things. So anyway, you know, hope you found that interesting. Let me know if you'd like more kind of content like this. And you know, as always, if you enjoyed that, please like and subscribe. Click on the notification bell for if you want to be notified, because I really do have some really interesting videos coming up. One video I'm working on at the moment is what plane crashes can teach piano students, and this is something that is a real good one. This is really going to be good. It's I'm very excited about this one. Anyway, so and yeah, for people who are listening to this as a podcast episode, you know, please do. Like it on all your podcast platform of choice, subscribe and all that good stuff, and I'll see you at the next one. So go do some practice, or go watch more of my videos, or listen to more of the podcast episodes. Take care and goodbye.